But what do you guys see in specifically the wedding photography industry, like trends for 2023 in terms of, not so much like the actual photography itself, but like as the industry, where do you see us heading?
I see now, like with the rise in education and the rise in like like having all that accessible to you, it just is like so exciting to see photographers like get it a little faster than us. Like, and I love seeing that instead of it just being like, oh wow, I had to really suffer to get to like where I am. It's like, no, I wish this was here, and I love that like it's available now. And COVID definitely, I think, sparked that of just getting people like a reset. But I also feel like coming into the end of a busy season, I don't know if you guys notice these trends in your like business or how you start feeling this way when it comes to the end of the season. You just feel a little burnt out and a little like overwhelmed by how much editing you have or all the things that you've been up to, and then the holidays hit, that like you just are like craving that reset, refresh type thing. And that's what I feel like going into 2023 is going to be a really cool thing for education, I guess, is just like beginning of a new year. And it's not like, oh, January 1st, have a gym membership, buy all the education. Like, no, it's more of like, I just think that like going into the next year, we're kind of like getting our feet settled. I also feel and hope that 2023 is going to be like back to normal-ish when it comes to the wedding industry. Like, I feel like we're kind of there, but I feel like it's going to be another level of like, no, we're back, because like the last few years have been a little crazy. So I hope that next year, long story short, I hope that next year is like a really positive education experience. I hope that there's more education and more in-person events that like people can connect. I think community is so important. And I don't know. I'm interested to see what like the media trends are going to be. But that'll be,
I love
those
all
are
of that.
all of it.
Yeah, I love all that. And I've got to say, like, from my perspective, I like agree with everything that you just said. And like, I think the same thing all the time. I'm like, man, I'm mind blown. If I had this education when I first started, like, I would be like, watch out. Because like one thing I've noticed, like, this is no word of a lie, but when I first started, I know money's different a little bit now, but when I first started, it was a big deal to make 6 figures as a wedding photographer. Like, it really was. It was like, you know, the Jonas Petersons and people with like big studios and stuff. And these days, man, I'm watching people that have a career for 3 months and they're doing it. And that was never the case before. Like, that actually blows my mind. And I'm like, Catalina, what do you think?
I think what I'm maybe potentially, at least in my little window of view into the industry, is like just watching that there is a lot more, at least from what I'm seeing, a lot more individuality popping up. Like when I started, there was really like basically 2 photography styles. It felt like it was like light and then like dark. Like that was kind of the thing. But now you have, you know, you have film shooters, you have direct flash becoming kind of a thing. Like I think people, it just seems like people are doing a lot more experimenting, and I think that's really cool than it just kind of like having just like one on this side and one, you know, just these like, so I think the spectrum is really opening up. And what's cool, because this sort of education is now so just, I mean, there's so much quality, amazing education that people can pivot really easily. If they're like, oh, I want to learn that, I want to try that. And I think that really opens up for so much more creativity. So that's just something that I'm seeing. I keep finding new people that I follow. I'm like, wow, you're really doing something different. Wow, you're really doing something different. Like, I think that's just like really cool. I think too, and kind of as well as like sort of like, at least for me, sort of like the adventure photography, that was really like the big, you know, the big thing. And and it's really cool just to see that, yeah, just with these styles of people getting creative, that people are making basements look amazing. Like I just shot some wedding photos in like an elevator with direct flash. And so it's kind of cool that it's moving a bit away from just the mountaintop being like the epic photos, and these more like kind of simple in between. And yeah, it's just been, I have loved seeing that shift. I feel my feed is much more filled with things that I'm surprised by and inspired by, and I'm like saving in my own folder. I'm like, oh, I gotta try that. That's so cool. So yeah, I just think I've seen some people that are, you know, really just pulling ahead with, you know, they're like just really like doubling down on what they love. And I think that's something that potential clients really connect with too, is there's something like this person is like, has a specific voice. So it's been so cool just to see that more broadening of the styles and things. So it's been really fun to watch because I've been shooting for 10 years, so it's been cool to watch things shift. But this I feel like, yeah, lately I've been so inspired. Just seeing what people are posting, seeing what people are doing. It's really cool.
I just feel like it's like a permission slip that to like do. I feel that more, that a lot of people are like, I actually am going to become the artist that I want. And kind of like even what I was saying in my client experience talk of just like, be who you want to be. Don't do things because everyone else is doing it. And it's like, you don't have to choose and put yourselves in that box of like, I want to be light and airy, or I want to be moody, but if I'm not that, then I don't fit in and I can't be here. Like there's so much more individuality in all of that. So I love that you brought that up, Catalina, because I see so much of that too, that people are like doing their own thing, and that just makes this community like broad and amazing and not all the same. Like thank God that we're like finally like becoming our own, and like how much more of like a like purposeful whole we can be together without being the same. So I don't know, I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah, and there's just power behind the micro niche, and I think that's something that social media has done. Like the more micro niche down you are and really specialize in something and really have a voice, you can have 2,000 Instagram followers and they're your biggest fans because it's a very specific thing that you bring. And I just like, it's so cool, the micro niching. I'm just like, ooh, more of it, because yeah, people can just, it's not just these broad business ideas even, like people can really dial in on something they're really good at. So it's been cool to see.
And more power to the people that have a smaller following. I love that too, because there's people that have thousands and thousands of followers and their interactions like not great or whatever, and we just put this like, we idealize things of like a number equals success or this equals success, and that's like not it at all. Where some of my favorite accounts have less than 10,000 followers, and I'm just like the most inspired by them in the whole world. So it's wild, but I love that.
Hey, Carolina, what do you think?
I think that couples are looking for more of their own style in weddings. They want to, especially like I see in Miami, that is a very traditional market. And now I've seen a lot of people being like, we want to do things differently. And when they want to do things differently, they want also vendors that understand their vision and are, relate to them in like, live views and things that are also outside of just business, right? People want to do business with people that they sympathize and they want to be also friends with. So I think that's important. The more that we show in our website, in our copy, and even our social media who we are as people, I think that's going to be a great advantage for business coming up.
Love that. Lilu.
I think more and more personal brands are becoming valued, and people expect our businesses to become transparent. So in the website world, we're seeing a lot more personality in people's sites, and people creating sites that are very unique to them and their business, which is really cool. About 5 or 10 years ago, everyone kind of had the same site, and Flow Things was really popular, and everyone's site was kind of having the same structure and the same style. And now we're seeing there's just, that's so much personality. And that comes from the web platforms that we're using as well, allowing us like all that extra customization. So I talk a bit in my talk about Showit and that kind of back-end setup and how much it allows you to be able to customize your site and really inject your personality into it. Because we've got to remember, as photographers, our clients just aren't hiring us. Our clients aren't just hiring us for our work, they're hiring us as individuals. So the more that we can overstep that line and let our clients get to know us before they actually interact with us, it's going to make stepping over that line to reach out to us much easier.